Hello viewers and my dear students. In this video, I am going to discuss a topic in a chapter called money. It is a part of macroeconomics. In macroeconomics, in the chapter money, I had already posted a video. That was first video of chapter money. This is second video of the same chapter. In this video, we are going to discuss one small topic but in depth. The topic name is functions of money. What are the various functions money performs? This is what we are going to discuss. When we talk about the various functions money performs, all the functions it performs are classified into two main headings. Primary functions, under that two functions we will discuss. Secondary functions, under this three functions we are going to discuss. So let's begin with the first function that comes under primary functions of money. Name of the first function is money act as a common medium of exchange. Students, in the previous video of the same chapter, I had discussed in depth, in detail, elaborately one small topic, that was barter system. Because barter system has failed, because barter system was not successful, because barter system was not convenient for the people who lived those days, there was a need for invention of money. When money invented, it solved all the problems the people faced during the barter system of exchange. Okay. Now, how money acts as a common medium of exchange? By removing one of the most important drawback or limitation or demerit of barter system of exchange. Earlier means during the barter system of exchange, it was so difficult. People who lived during the barter system, they faced one important problem. What was the problem? Barter system is basically exchange of one good for another. So there are two individuals. What A has, B want, and what B want, A has. But practically speaking, it was difficult to find. Where was the difficulty? The difficulty was in finding a person who has what we want and the person who wants what we have. Practically, it was very difficult to find a person. Which person? A person who has that we want, and the same person must be wanting what we have. So that was the condition during the barter system of exchange. But that difficulty, why people faced more difficulty during the barter system of exchange? Because in the barter system of exchange, the buying and selling took place together. People were not able to separate buying and selling. Basically, buying is an activity, selling is an activity. But during barter system of exchange, both buying and selling took place together simultaneously at a time. Why? That was only barter system of exchange. And there was another inconvenience or difficulty or drawback during the barter system. The barter system did not offer, the barter system of exchange did not offer choice or freedom to choose for the buyers. As we enjoy the freedom today, the buyers who lived during the barter system of exchange were not given freedom to choose. Why they were not given freedom to choose? Why they were not given freedom to choose? Because what you have, one person should want, should need, and what he has, and you should need it, you should demand it. Therefore, the barter system did not offer any freedom of choice to the buyers, and buying and selling could not be separated. So these were the two important difficulties which made men to invent money. Why? Because it was not successful. Which was not successful? Barter system of exchange. But the invention of money removed both the difficulties of barter system of exchange. How? After money was invented, what did the money do? The money has separated buying and selling. Buying and selling, which was together, which took place simultaneously, which took place at the same time due to exchange of one good for another. After money was invented, money separated the buying and selling activities. After money was invented, buying took place, selling took place in a different direction. The condition was not that it should take place together. So money has separated buying and selling. Number two, the money, after money was invented, the money offered freedom of choice, freedom to choose. To whom the freedom was given by money, which was denied during the barter system of exchange. The freedom to choose, the freedom of choice was given to the buyers. What type of freedom was given? The buyer, the one who wants a commodity, can buy that commodity from any person who offers the best, the least price, or who offers the best bargain, which was not there during the barter system of exchange. Point. The second primary function money performs. Money acts as a common unit of measurement. Very important point. Common unit of measurement. The thing which I already told you, I am repeating again. There was a difficulty during the barter system of exchange. After money is invented, it removed that difficulty. What difficulty we are talking about after barter system of exchange at this point? When barter system was followed, different type of goods were measured in different units. For example, the goods like wheat, rice, etc., they were measured in kilograms. Goods like milk, oil were measured, compared, even valued in liters. Textile goods were measured in meters, and some goods like eggs, bricks, batten balls, They were measured in numbers like 7, 12, 21, 47, etc. Why? Because when they wanted to compare the values of different goods, there was no common unit like money. There was no common unit for measuring, for valuing, for comparing the values of different type of goods. So what was the difficulty? There was a difficulty in measurement. There was a difficulty in comparison. There was a difficulty in expressing their values. Why? Because there was no common unit for measuring the value of different type of goods. Okay. Therefore, the main problem was, when different goods were measured in different units of measurement, what type of difficulty people faced in those days? Suppose A and B, there were two individuals. What A wanted, B had. What A wanted, B had. And what B wanted, A had. For example, first condition is fulfilled. They were able to identify each other's needs. Okay? There was a double coincidence of wants. That condition was fulfilled. But the problem is, A had wheat and other person had bricks. The problem they faced was finding, establishing, agreeing the ratio or proportion in which one commodity wheat had to be exchanged for another commodity bricks. Why? The person who had wheat felt that wheat was highly valuable compared to value of bricks. At the same time, the person who had bricks, he thought that his commodity had more value comparatively compared to the value of wheat. Therefore, though the double coincidence of wants was met, was fulfilled, but still A and B could not exchange wheat for bricks. Why? They were not able to come to a conclusion about the ratio or proportion in which the wheat had to be exchanged for bricks. So, barter system had failed. In spite of fulfilling the first condition, double coincidence of wants, then also those two individuals could not exchange one commodity for another commodity because they were not able to come to a common conclusion of the ratio in which they had to exchange wheat for bricks. Therefore, the barter system has failed. Okay. How invention of money removed this particular difficulty of the barter system of exchange? Now, after money is invented, all the type of goods are measured, valued, compared in one single or common unit, that is money. In case you are a producer of wheat, in case you produce wheat in your field, in case I manufacture bricks in my bricklin industry, in case another person, who has cows and buffaloes and makes milk, another person has a textile factory, the products manufactured by these various people, they all were measured in a common single unit called money. Wheat was measured in terms of money. Bricks also was measured in terms of money. Every commodity was measured, compared and valued in a single or common unit called money. Therefore, the difficulty of finding the ratio has been solved. The money has removed the problem of finding the ratio of exchange of one commodity for another. Why? The person who had wheat will go to the market, sell the wheat and get money. With that money, he will go to the factory where bricks are made. He will give money and get bricks. But such type of easy exchange of one good for another, such easy exchange of or easy buying of one good for money did not exist during the barter system of exchange. So this is what you have to learn about. Now, money is acting as a measuring rod. It is like a measuring scale or measuring, it's a rod, a common scale for measuring, for comparing, for expressing the value of all types of goods. There is a single unit, there is a common unit. The name of the common unit is money. Next, point number 3. Money act as a store of value. This is another function performed by money. How? What do normally people do? Normally people keep aside a part of the current income for future use. How do we call it as? We call it as savings. People do not spend the entire current income. What do they normally do? They keep aside a part, a portion of today's income for future use. Why? Because in the future there is no guarantee, there is no promise, there is no surety that there will be an income. Therefore, people normally develop saving habits. But before money was invented, commodities were exchanged for commodities. Under the commodity system of exchange, the saving was very difficult. In the sense, in the form of commodities, if people have to save a part of their current income for future use, it faces many difficulties for the people in terms of savings of current income for the future use. How? In the form of commodities, if people have to save a part of today's income for future, number one, there is a possibility of loss of quantity. Imagine a farmer who harvested large quantities of wheat. Some quantity he already exchanged for other commodities. The remaining quantity he has to store, he has to keep as a savings for future use. But what is the main drawback or difficulty under the commodity system of exchange? There might be a loss of quantity. The quantity may be lost due to some natural causes and man-made causes. Natural causes means the quantity of the goods stored in the godown in the form of commodity may be lost due to natural causes like flood, heavy rain. Some of the quantity which are stored in the godown might get washed away in the flood water. Man-made causes means unknowingly due to fire or due to theft, there may be loss of quantity under the commodity system of exchange. Number 2, loss of quality. The quality of some of the grains like wheat, rice, maize, etc. Due to frequent change in weather, there may be a loss of quality. Number 3, if commodities have to be stored till it is needed in the future, it involves huge storage cost in the name of rent. Then, with today's savings, there is no possibility of earning an additional income. So, these were the drawbacks for saving today's current income for the future use. But when money was invented, money facilitated, money helped the people to develop the saving habits. Why? Because if people have to save their current income for future use in terms of money, there will be no loss of quantity. If you keep a bundle of 100 number of 100 rupee or 200 rupee notes, after 6 months it remains the same. There is no loss of quantity under monetary system of exchange. There may be no loss of quality. The money, whether in the form of coins or currency notes, does not lose its value in the short period of time. So, there is no loss of quality also. Number 3, there is no need of spending a huge storage cost if people have to save the present income for future use in terms of money. There is no need of spending huge storage cost as it was in the case of commodity system of exchange. Number 4, money also provides a chance for earning additional income. If commodities were stored for future use, there is no possibility of additional income. But if money is saved, where do the people deposit their savings for safety purpose? In a bank. So what do they get over the period of time? Interest. What is interest? An additional income due to savings. Therefore, money acts as a store of value. Next, point number 4. Money acts as a standard of deferred payments. First of all, you should know what payments are called deferred payments. The meaning of deferred payment is the payment for which the amount is agreed today at present, but the actual payment will be made sometime in the future. So for any contracts, for any lending and borrowing, the amount will be agreed today, but the actual payment takes place sometime in the future. Such payments are called deferred payments. During the commodity system of exchange, under the barter system of exchange, it was not at all possible. It faced lot of difficulties for making deferred payments. But after the money was invented, these difficulties were removed. Why? If people have to make the payments in the form of commodity, certain quantity, some quintals or some tons of a particular commodity is agreed today but to be made in the future, what happens? The value of that grain, the value of that commodity for today and what is going to be in the future will not be the same. It means the value of commodities fluctuates. It does not remain constant, it fluctuates. What happens when the value of the commodity which was agreed between A and B, agreed today but to be made in the future. What happens if the value of the commodity fluctuates? One person is the loser and the other person gains. Both cannot lose, both cannot gain. One has to lose and the other will gain. So, it was difficult. Lending and borrowing under the barter system of exchange, lending and borrowing under commodity system of exchange were also difficult. But when after money was invented, money facilitated, money helped for the easy payment for deferred payments. How? Because the money value remains constant for quite a long period of time. Money value does not fluctuate very often. Money value does not fluctuate very often. It remains constant for quite a long period of time. Therefore, lending and borrowing are now simplified. Earlier, they were difficult, they were impossible. Now money has made it possible and money has made these two simple. Then money acts as a link between the value of today and the value of future. The money is acting as a link. Why? Because it does not fluctuate. Then money also helps in the formation of capital market. In case money was not invented, till today there would be no capital market, there will be no money market, there will be no stock exchanges, there will be no banks and other lending institutions. These things would not have come to the practical use anywhere in the world if money was not invented. But after money was invented, it helped the formation of capital market, money market, which you will be studying in detail in business studies. So the formation of capital market was made possible because of money. The formation of stock exchange was made possible because of money. The formation and functioning of banks and other lending institutions were also made possible after money was invented. And money offers general acceptability. Any people, anywhere, people living in anywhere, any time, for any reason, money is accepted by everyone, everywhere, at all times. So it has general acceptability, which wasn't there during barter system of exchange. And money is durable in nature. There is a durability when you compare the commodity and money. Money has more durability and commodities have no durability or very less durability. Therefore, money acts as a standard of deferred payment. The next function, the next point, money acts as a transfer of value. Transfer of value. Let's talk about two things, commodity, money. Under commodity system of exchange, if commodities have to be transferred from one place to another place, it won't be possible easily. Money is to be transferred from one place to another place. It can be faster, it can be quicker, it can be accurate, it can be without any additional charges. So these facilities are offered by money. But what is liquidity? Liquidity means the ability to convert an asset into money quickly and without loss of time and loss of value. That is called liquidity. Quick convertibility of an asset into cash. Okay. But during the barter system of exchange, when money was not in use, this thing was very difficult. But after money is invented, the possession of money helps a person. It helps a person to buy anything from anybody, from anywhere, at any time, quickly, without loss of time and without loss of value and without any additional charges, which was not possible during the commodity system of exchange or barter system of exchange. So therefore, money acts as a transfer of value. Two other small subsidiary points. Money helps in the distribution of national income. I have already discussed in one of the previous videos what is distribution. Whatever is earned by the producer after selling, the entire income he earned does not belong to only the producer. Then what he has to do? Whatever he earned by selling the goods which were already produced, he has to distribute that income among different factors. Some of the money he earned must be given to land in the name of rent. Some of the income he earned must be given to labor in the name of wages. Some of the income he earned by sale of goods must be given in the name of interest on the capital borrowed, and the remaining income, the leftover income, the remaining income, he can keep it with him as a reward for entrepreneurship, for taking risk of starting a business. So that distribution of national income was possible only after money was invented. If money was not invented, it could have been impossible for calculating national income. And the last point, money helps in securing the maximum profit for the producer and the maximum satisfaction for consumers. Why? Because the consumer satisfaction will be maximum when he buys a commodity by giving money, and the profit for producers is also measured in terms of money. If money was not invented, the measuring the profit earned by the producer would not have been made possible. So this is the end of this second video on the topic money. The students, I'll be putting up another video number 3 on the same topic, money, in which the topics which are left out will be covered. So in total there are 3 videos which you all have to watch if you want to learn all the main topics and subtopics of the chapter money. Thank you for watching and subscribe.